Hello, Cynthia.
Hey Jen, how's it going? Welcome to the Marketing Duo podcast, the podcast where marketing experts Cynthia of Digital Bloom IQ and Jen of Jen Vasquez Media come together to share their wealth of knowledge and insights on scaling your business.
Each episode, Cynthia and Jen dive into the latest marketing strategies, mindset shifts, and also growth tactics specifically designed for ambitious female founders who are tech savvy and eager to enhance their marketing game.
Whether you're looking to fine-tune your approach or discover innovative ways to accelerate your business, the Marketing Duo podcast provides actionable tips and inspiring conversations to help you reach your goals.
Tune in for a blend of practical advice and empowering discussions tailored to help you thrive in the ever-evolving digital landscape. It's going. I'm excited for today. I was inspired by someone else. I don't even remember who now at this point, but about the whole sort of would you rather. And so I had ChatGPT help me to put together a would you rather Pinterest and SEO edition because I wanted to be able to copy it, paste it in a doc, send it to you, and not read my questions and vice versa.
Yes.
So we'll see how this goes today.
It's the funnel gorgeous ladies.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right. Oh,
Famous funnel gorgeous.
So welcome back to everyone to the Marketing Duo podcast. And if you're new here, we would love for you to, subscribe to our channel, whether it's the podcast or YouTube. So if you're on the podcast, now you know we're on YouTube too, because we're basically talking about all things Pinterest and SEO, all sort of search marketing platforms.
Yes. I'm Cynthia. I'm the owner of Digital Bloom IQ, and I am part SEO nerd, part strategist for service-based businesses and specifically female-founded businesses. I was just having a conversation last week, and I always forget until someone reminds me how important it is to me to show up as a technical woman who knows code, who knows whatever. I know what I know. There's people who are more technical than me, but I just feel like so many female business owners just abandon all the tech side of their business because it feels overwhelming, and it can be. But anyway, that's like a little bit about my mission.
Yeah. And we promise that today is going to be more playful, but it's definitely going to be educational and totally honest. So we'll see how this happens. So grab your coffee or tea or tequila. We won't judge. We don't know when you're listening or watching. And let's dive in. So I'm going to go ahead and be asking question, and then Cynthia's going to ask a question back. So question number 1 for Cynthia is, would you rather write 10 SEO optimized blog posts in a week or audit 10 client websites back to back?
I think I would go for the audits because I feel like a lot can happen in an audit and it's much more interesting. And sometimes might be surprised, but sometimes the blog post is not actually the most effective thing for you to be doing. So audits can be like a little bit of a mixed bag of, it could, bring up all sorts of things, but I would be more curious about an audit than
and people find so much value out of those audits. So much value. Yeah. I know that I have referred work with you and they're excited. And then they call me afterwards and they're like, oh my gosh, I have a checklist. I know what to do, working closest to the dollar, right? Closest to the thing. So FYI, she has great audits.
Thank you. That's a really sweet. All right. Question for Jen. Would you rather only be allowed to create static pins or only be allowed to create video pins for a year?
Well, my answer is not a cheat, but I would say standard pins for 2 reasons. One, I have it set up that anything I post on Instagram, which are my reels, right, are
Right.
automatically getting posted to Pinterest. So I wouldn't have to post for a year. So that's a little bit of a cheat, but also standard pins on average get more engagement than video pins,
Right.
like pin for pin, meaning like I always recommend my clients do like at least one video pin a week, unless you hook it up and claim Instagram, which is what I recommend, along with your standard pins, because your standard pins are kind of your foundation, and it they just work for years, right? Videos capture attention and might get seen more, might get more views than other pins, but really if they click on it, they go to Instagram. So it's not as effective like as going to a blog post.
Interesting. I love that we can find like the hack to the question.
I'll find a way. All right. Would you rather give up Google Analytics or give up Google Search Console for a year?
This is so hard. So I'm like an SEO expert. So giving up Search Console is kind of like cutting off my left arm. I'm a lefty. So, but because this is also, I've kind of found a workaround. Google Analytics, you can hook up your Search Console in Google Analytics. I'm going to go with Google Analytics,
See these workout?
assuming that the Search
See these
Console,
workarounds? Oh my God.
now you don't see as much as you would in the Search Console, but it still gives you, something.
Yeah. My immediate answer to that question would be I'd give up Google Analytics, because for me, for the layperson, it's a little harder to read and know, but it's super robust. So I like a year would be concerning, but at least Google Search Console would tell me what all my search terms and all the SEO that I need for my website and for my blog post to write. So I would have chosen Google Search too.
Yeah, Google Analytics is just, it goes more to the grain of what's profitable, what's happening profitably on your website. So, and that's what a business owner wants to know. It might be SEO, might be that SEO is working well. Maybe there's something else that's working better. So that's why Google Analytics is the choice that I wouldn't give up. So I'd give up the Search Console.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I would give up Google and then come to you, Google Analytics, and then come to you to help me with it.
Just like finding
That's
the
what
hack.
I do. Yeah.
All right. So Jen's next question. Would you rather have one viral pin that brings 1 million views, but no clicks, or a quiet pin that brings in 1,000 new email subscribers?
So this is a super easy question for me. A lot of people might be shocked though, because a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, 1 million views! Like that's the best."
Right.
But no clicks. Like, no, I would immediately like give up. I personally don't even like when my pin goes viral, because it gives a big, huge spike and then it goes down pretty quickly. And then it skews all the rest of our data. Everything looks all smooshed at the bottom, and I've got to like widen it out to see what's going on, because that big spike is not real. Right. So, and I don't like viral for TikTok or Instagram or anything else, because the chance of you having those people be your ideal client are super rare. So that's an easy one.
But it's interesting because you're right. Maybe most people would go for the viral. There's something sexy about having a viral thing, but it also depends the type of business you have, right? Too, like that will
true. If you're a creator, a content creator, that might be better, right? But I am a content creator, but I'm for my business, not for getting seen basically on the internet. So I know, crazy. Would you, that's why this is educational, right? Would you rather work on a niche with super low competition, but zero passion, or a passion project with crazy high competition?
Yeah. So one of the DBIQ of my company's core values is passion. So this one's also kind of an easy one for me to answer. I mean, I don't necessarily I don't know if I like the term passion project, but it is
No,
what it is.
yeah.
But I feel like competition doesn't, so it sounds like this question is saying, oh, like low competition makes it easier versus high competition. Kind of depends. I think when you have higher competition in SEO, you just need to be more careful about the battles you're picking. Because also sometimes low competition just means there's no one searching, and that's not good either. So
So yes, yeah.
yeah. So definitely the
Yeah.
passion.
So
And let's
what
see.
is it called? What is it called? Just because I know others right out there might be
Mm.
thinking the same thing, and I have a lot of knowledge on it, but I always forget. So the things that you look at is like high searchability, right? Like high
Volume.
search for high volume. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
So a lot of people might consider this volume, but it's the competition piece. And if it's a high volume and low competition, that's amazing. That's like the holy grail, but you don't get it that often. And you were one of the first SEO people that I have came across who says you want to look for places in all the areas, right? Like you don't have to just focus on low competition and high search volume, which is harder to find.
Yeah.
That you can go sort of in the middle, and maybe even if there's a core keyword for you, you might go for a high competition that has medium volume. Like who knows, right?
Yeah, you can do a diversified approach. I feel like a lot of people get so stuck on just finding high volume, low competition keywords, and then they don't want to write about that stuff anyway, or they don't want to create content, and then they're stuck, and then they're not doing SEO for years and years because they're like, because some SEO expert told me I could only do, you know what, like just be strategic. I'm not saying all the, don't just do all high competition because you're not going to necessarily get traction, but it's okay to do a combo. For sure. And
Yeah.
follow the passion. I mean, that's the metric too, that because the passion is going to get you through the rough part when you
Hard
don't want to
work.
do the thing, or you're scared to hire it out, or like all those blocks. Like the passion or whatever it is that lights you up. It doesn't have to be passion. It can be other things. But for me, it's like that passion, that impact. I think about the people I'm helping. That really is the kind of the driver that still keeps me going, because some things are still hard, 7, 8 years in. Like, I don't know about you, Jen, but some things are easier. But
Yes.
something, like many things, are still very difficult.
Time and practice
Yes.
makes things easier typically, but it doesn't ever mean that you're going to love something.
Yeah.
And so part of the passion in your business gets you through that hard work and grueling, grinding work sometimes.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I agree. Totally.
All right, Jen's question. Would you rather teach a Pinterest strategy class with 0 visuals or manage 10 clients' Pinterest accounts manually with no scheduler?
So I don't like either option. I'll pick whatever the other option is than to pin manually. I use Tailwind. Unless a better product comes along, I will always use Tailwind. It saves me 5 hours for each client each week
Right.
on the work. So when you times that by 10 clients, that's like a lot of time.
Right.
So I don't even care what that other one was. I'll do that other one all day long. Okay. Would you rather teach a beginner SEO workshop live or speak on an advanced SEO panel at a conference?
So I've done many beginner SEO workshops. I would say that's like, I could probably do it in my sleep. So I'm going to go for the advanced SEO panel, because that kind of freaks me out a little bit more. And I feel like if I were at a conference with other people who would also be talking about advanced SEO, I mean, that's very broad at what is advanced SEO,
Yeah.
but let's say it was about, for example, AIO. That's like very right now up and coming, and I'm trying to absorb, all the information. I would feel so nervous to be able to show up there and provide value. And I think that's a good place to be, in a place that makes you nervous, on that like cusp of like nervousness, but also excitement. So I'm going to go with that one. And that's inspired me. I need to sign up for more panels.
Yes. It's interesting because what you said, the words you used, is something that I have been feeling over the last couple of years. I feel like when you are scaling your business and you get to a certain point, every time I feel nervous about doing something like that or whatever it is in business wise, every time I lean in when I'm nervous, it advances my business faster.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. Plus, I have to give you a compliment in terms of the AIO.
Aww.
So I just got a comment on YouTube that said, hey, I just watched your video and it was so good because I was referred to you by ChatGPT.
No, nice.
And I sent you, I don't know if I sent a DM or an email, I don't know what I did, but I'm like, you need to copy that and put that on your AIO education page, because that's huge. No, I have never heard that before. This is the first time I heard it. And I've been working on all my SEO to show up in ChatGPT. Right. So I thought you'd be thrilled to hear that.
Yeah, no, it is thrilling. I mean, I just feel like when it's so new. Anyway, we can maybe do another episode on
Yeah. I'll put a link down below for you guys if you're interested in her AIO education. It was so good. All right. No, it's my turn. It's my turn, I think.
Yes, it is your turn. Okay, so would you rather repin outdated content that still performs or test a brand new pin style every single week?
I would test a brand new pin style every single week, because you can take that pin that you already pinned and pin it. And if the searches are high right now, then you have 2 pins that are bringing in people. But what I would do instead is I would make 5 more pins around the content that pin is going to. And I would use the keywords I used on that pin on all these other pins, so that I can test the keywords and the design. So I would make one that looks similar, maybe different, a little bit different colors, but I would use the keywords that were on that last pin. So Pinterest always wants new, fresh content, right? Their whole job is to give pinners things to look at and inspire them and help them. And so the more content that you can create, the better. And repinning these days is not what it was 5-6 years ago, when that was sort of part of a strategy. It's really not part of a strategy anymore. I will rarely do it, just testing, because I like to test everything on Pinterest on my account, so that if I see things changing because something changes on Pinterest, I'll know about it first because I'm constantly testing.
Right. I love that.
Okay, would you rather optimize a website with 5,000 broken links or fix duplicate metadata across 500 pages? So 5,000 broken links to fix or 500 pages to fix duplicate metadata?
Yeah,
that's a lot.
So
Either way, that's a lot.
I'm going to go with duplicate metadata, because that's probably a little easier to fix. The broken links, could also be this is kind of a tie, I feel, because the broken links can also be, there's tools that allow us to go in and patch those up fairly quickly. But 5,000 is a lot too.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So I'm going to lean a little towards the metadata, especially now, speaking of ChatGPT, now with ChatGPT drafting meta titles and things, if you understand the SEO principles and you can give it the right instructions, it can make it a lot easier. You still have to go in and fix things, but again, there's tools and apps and things that you can do it maybe a little faster. So But I'd say both those
Just
tasks are not really appealing to me. It's just like,
sounds not very much fun. Same as the teaching the class with no one showing up, or like same thing. Like there's ones where they're like, we don't like you.
right. Exactly. All right, Jen's turn. I'm just going to the last one. Oh no, I forgot which was the last thing I asked.
Number 6.
Oh, I asked
No,
number 5. Okay, so 6.
I think so.
No, I didn't ask the one with Canva.
Oh, because I'm first, so you're gonna do 5. Oh, you're gonna do 5 for me. That's right.
So,
sorry.
Would you rather never use Tailwind again or never use Canva again?
Never use Canva again.
Oh, that's crazy.
Which would actually kill me. But at least with Tailwind, I can use their Tailwind Create that makes pins inside of it. Like at least I'd have a backup. And I know Adobe, so I could use one of the Adobe products.
Right, you're not totally cut off.
Like I'll find a workaround, don't you worry.
Hard to imagine a world without Canva, though, right? Like it has changed the game.
It is so easy compared to other learning of the products,
Yeah, as a small business, right? Like I learned how to use Adobe and Photoshop and stuff, Illustrator, and it's an incredibly powerful tool, but for a small business that needs like here and there,
it needs to be simple and easy. Yeah. Would you rather never use Rank Math or Yoast or one of those again, or lose your favorite keyword research tool?
Yeah, so I would actually give up Yoast because I have like a whole thing about this. So people get stuck.
Do you have a blog on this? Because this would be important.
Maybe I need a blog. Yeah. I mean, I think I've definitely done a podcast episode, but
oh yeah,
I feel like people like install Yoast, on their site and they just click it and then they're like, I'm done. Mm-hmm. Like I've done SEO, check.
It never turns green unless you do something that is not going to look good on the blog. So Yoast
to me is a tool that helps you, it guides you, and it does do some implementation. Like it will help you set up certain URL structures, or will help you set up, just certain things, actual things on your site. So I'm not saying it does nothing, but you still need to understand what you want to do with it to get it to do something. So my analogy here is you're making a house and you have a hammer. And so the hammer by itself doesn't do much. You need to use the hammer and you need to know what you're going to build, right, too. So Yoast is that hammer, like very useful. You can't not, like, it's hard to build a house without a hammer, but you still need to know how to use the hammer. So you still need to create content. Like I've talked to so many people that think that when they add the keyword in Yoast, that's the keyword implementation. Like, no, that's not the keyword implementation. That helps. It's like a compass that Yoast tells you how to get it in the page, but you still need to add it in the page.
It needs to, yes.
Yeah. So,
and in more than one spot too. Like it's,
and now with AIO, it's way more advanced. It's not even about necessarily adding it a ton of times. So, anyway,
in different ways versus,
the strategies have changed. That being said, they're incredibly powerful tools, but we have many clients that don't use, Yoast or any sort of app or plugin or whatever.
That makes sense.
All righty, Jens. All right. Would you rather create 10 idea pins from scratch in a day or write SEO descriptions for 50 pins?
So FYI, ChatGPT does not know that there are not those types of pins anymore. It's like 2 years old. That's a great recommendation to check what comes out of ChatGPT. But because I wanted these to be more secret, I didn't go in and look at them to
right.
To
That's so interesting.
I'm gonna take it as a video pin.
Okay.
So would you rather create a video pin from scratch or create 50? I think you said
50 SEO descriptions for 50 pins.
I mean, making a video is super simple from scratch. So I'd have to choose that. But I also have no problem with 50 descriptions. Like I could knock that out in an hour or something. So, so
It's a
I
tie.
think I would probably pick, yeah, it's kind of a tie, but I think I would pick the first one just because it's easier
Right.
for sure. All right. Would you rather go viral on Google for an SEO tip that you actually don't agree with? I already know the answer to this. Or just by the nature of your business and what you believe in, or have an amazing SEO insight that no one sees.
Yeah. So the viral thing again. Yeah. I don't really have, I think it's great to go viral. It can create a lot of opportunities, but I don't know why I would create an SEO tip that I don't agree with and share that. I will say though that I have shared things in the past that now have changed.
That's
So
the worst.
that's the
I
worst.
actually get rid of those pins. Like if I have a pin on something that's outdated
Yeah.
information that is outdated
Yeah.
and not coming back kind of,
Yes.
then I will get, even if it's popular, I'll get rid of it because I don't want it to be popular and have people think that I believe that now in 2025.
Yeah, it's I've felt like I've been so hard on myself on it in the past, and now I feel like I'm much better at having grace around, and maybe I need to give myself more grace with all this AIO stuff, but I just feel like our industries change so fast and it's impossible to stay on track of all the different content we create a
Yeah.
lot of content. So there's probably lots of things floating around online that maybe are slightly not 100% accurate, but if the people who consume enough of my content, like as a whole, it's accurate
Yeah.
enough for them to make progress. And so that is more impactful than me worrying about it and then not doing anything, right? Um,
Yeah.
so I would definitely go for the second one. I would love to have an amazing SEO insight. I feel like it can feel there can be moments where it feels so out of our control. And so I'm constantly looking at ways to make it actionable for our clients, right? So that they feel like they
Yeah.
can action it.
Yeah, for sure. And I also feel like people, so here's the thing that's different from us to like an Instagram expert. We're working on social, search marketing platforms. Search marketing platforms have a longevity to their content
Yeah.
on YouTube, on Google, our blogs. And so by the nature of the fact that they're around forever and still driving traffic, they're gonna get outdated.
Yeah.
And you've talked about in your education, going back to popular blogs and like updating the information
Yeah.
and adding the new information. And I think that this is a good reminder for us that blogs not only stay around for a long time, but that you can go back and update them. Like you don't have to live with that 5-year-old blog that's driving a ton of traffic and it's wrong. You can fix that.
Yeah. And I've done that. Jen, I have an SEO course. I've had a few iterations of it. And the first version of it, there's some things I teach about backlinking that I wouldn't teach today because it doesn't work. It's not that I was wrong and there's something bad about that. It's just like the strategy changes. And
Yep.
so I
Yep.
just change it. And then if someone like publicly or privately is like, this isn't accurate and they're right, I'll be like, you're right. Let's just update it. Right. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. This is your last question. Would you rather spend all day writing content for robots, like hello algorithms, or explaining SEO to people who think it's a scam?
So the second one, I just realized you asked 2 questions in a row, right? I had to
Did
ask
I
you.
really? I probably did. I probably did. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's okay. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I should have been like, "No, Jen, it's your turn."
Connor, if you can reverse these, that would be great.
That's okay. Okay, so yes, so I definitely like the second one, explaining SEO to people who think it's a scam. It's a big topic. I've had heard many horrible stories of, just different situations. Um, and yeah, another value of mine is ethical marketing and making sure that what we're doing with the client is actually impactful. We actually have a client now that their SEO is doing so well, but they've actually capped out. This can happen in marketing. It's a whole other podcast episode, Jen. I feel like you can get a point with certain marketing where
I'll add it to our list.
you can like cap out on your campaigns because you hit a plateau and kind of how much you can maximize that campaign, and it goes through cycles. So this client was maxed out on their SEO, and so we actually went back to them and we said, look, like, us doing more of this type of SEO, which was mostly content creation, is not going to create more leads for you. Instead, we'd like to propose, because the client at that point was very passionate about YouTube and videos. And we were looking at their videos and they were okay, but we felt like they could be a lot better. So we went back and we said to them, why don't we use some of the hours we have for SEO and actually help you with your video and your video editing? And the client was like, well, do we have to pay more? Like, no, let's just swap out the resource.
Yeah.
And they were so surprised, and they're like, yeah. And so I have now a video editor on my team. Right.
That makes a client for life, though.
Yeah.
When you can keep charging and you don't, because you want to do what's best for the client, that's when you make a client for life. Like, that's when you have a client that like trusts you. There's nothing like that.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's how I see my clients. I mean, I see them as partners. And so and I've been so lucky because I've been able to expand my team. If we were only doing SEO, then the conversation would be, okay, who can we refer to you to, switch your marketing strategy? But luckily within the team, we can already swap that strategy. And, now we're helping them with their videos. And that doesn't mean they're never going to do SEO again. It just means we've capped out right now. And so, I really feel like when you're investing in your business, any type of digital marketing, it's important to feel 80% good with your provider. Because I know there's mistakes that happen and stuff is going to happen. It's just part of the day-to-day, but you should be able to talk to them about how they're using your hours. If you're if you're not comfortable with something, I think the scam comes up when there's like a lack of knowledge of what they need to be doing with SEO, because SEO is so transparent or not I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of invisible.
It's so visual. You can't lie about it.
Well, but a lot of people feel scammed because they don't actually know what you need to be doing. So they're like, and then they find out 6 months later the agency wasn't doing anything. And there's that sensitivity to be scammed. Anyway, whole other topic. We have like subtopics.
Well, and I mean, I think that's what this is for, is it's really good for bringing out like examples and stuff. I think it's fun.
Yeah, totally. All right. 2 last questions for Jen. So would you rather spend your Pinterest life, that's like interesting, your Pinterest life only talking about analytics or only talking about aesthetics?
Aesthetics are important, but analytics are more important, because with analytics, you can decide what's working, what's not working, and spend more time doing the things that are actually working for your account. Right. So, and I'm a very actionable person. Like, I love talking about taking action and stuff. And talking about aesthetics would get old in 2 days. So I will pick analytics all day long.
I love that. All right. And then the last one, would you rather start over with 0 Pinterest followers or start over with a new Pinterest account, but no boards?
Well, boards are part of the SEO on Pinterest. So I would always pick whatever the other answer is, but also Pinterest followers are an analytic and overall as a whole make a difference on your account, but they really don't make a difference in terms of marketing your business and getting traffic. They just don't. I've had a client who had 450,000 people coming to their website every month, and they only had 200 followers. Like, who cares? Right? Our Pinterest account is not like a social media account where the whole goal is to get that engagement, get people to like and follow you. Right. Like, Pinterest is not like that. So again, I would always pick that over any other answer probably because the followers don't matter to me.
I love that. Oh, so good. So many good ones.
Yeah.
I was surprised by some of your answers. I thought that.
Me too. Me too. It's so fun, especially when you don't know as much about the other person's things to know what, like the viral question, I'm sure will probably shock people.
Right.
But for both of us, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think things are not what they seem many, many times until you start working with someone. But I think that happens with all industries, right? Like when you have a perception and then you start talking to someone and it's completely different on the inside or on the other side. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we want to hear from you. What would you choose,
Yes.
in some of these dilemmas that you want to share with us? If you're listening to us on, on your phone, you can just DM us or tag us in a story and just screenshot the episode at Marketing Duo Podcast and let us know, what are some of the answers or some of the questions that kind of were surprising? Or if you have like follow-up questions or requests on
Yeah.
episodes, please also, send us a DM, Marketing Duo Podcast.
Yeah, we're going to take any comments and we'll turn it into content. So just definitely let us know. And if you love this episode, or even if you're just nosy and want some more behind the scenes, we'd love for you to leave a review or share this with your business bestie.
Thanks, everybody. We're cooking up our next week's topic, so stay tuned. Keep creating, stay passionate, continue to move forward in your business, and we will catch you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.